Yeah, I mean, I think that we're in the time frame now and the age with modern medical technology that I think that people in our age bracket should probably live to 100.
Yeah.
I think that we're in that time if people can diet better and
Make good decisions.
make better decisions. But it's so easy not to in this day and age. And it's like they want you to make the bad decisions. And there's a lot of people that think like, and I feel like that kind of goes back to the whole abortion thing too. I think there's a lot of people that almost feel like we've got this overpopulation problem, and you would think that we do, like if you're going to a Cheddar's on a Friday evening,
Yeah.
But like, and actually I'll give Elon Musk credit because he's the one that really like. I started kind of researching into it when I saw Elon Musk put out his tweet like he does, and it said something about we don't have an overpopulation problem. Actually, quite the opposite. So I like started digging into it a little bit, and like sure enough, and then you start kind of putting yourself in position to think about the people that you know in life, right? And Brandy said it to me the other day. She said, just think, our kids may be my dad's only grandkids, and she's got a little brother and an older sister, so. I just wonder how many more people are making that same type of decision. And it's like, a lot of people wait and wait and wait. And then, I mean, who was it? One of those movie stars just had a kid and she's like 47. Is that Cameron? I think it was Cameron Diaz talking about having a baby at 47 or something. Like, that's just like, that's kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
My mom had her last at 40 and everybody's like, you're pushing the envelope. And now she's like a grandma mom. Tara just turned 21. And everybody else is quite a bit older than her, and so I think she was a grandma, shortly after she had her. But so yeah, I don't know. I think there's a, kind of coming back into that issue. It's like, I don't think necessarily. I mean, obviously, there's not an overpopulation problem. We have such a problem with people moving into these inner cities, and they overpopulate one place. But there was something I heard the other day that said the whole population of the world would fit, like if you put them shoulder to shoulder, would fit in Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy because the United States is small compared to other countries out there.
Los Angeles alone is just a mad. So many people, so much homeless. Like I went there to visit my sister last year, and we had gotten reservations for this hotel that was just 9 miles away, and to take an Uber there, it was going to be an hour drive.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, how do people live in these big cities? We were like, okay, not going to dinner there then.
Yeah, and it's one of the worst, or it used to be. I've been to LA in 15 years, and but yeah, I mean, so now you understand why Elon Musk is like, yeah, we got to build tunnels.
Yeah.
He's trying to get out of that traffic anyway. But that's the crazy thing too. It's like, Elon Musk, and I'm like a super fan of Elon Musk in case anybody didn't know out there. But this guy could do anything he wants. He could have anything he wants.
Yeah.
So that means this guy could literally take a helicopter. He could take a private jet if he wanted to and fly over all the traffic. But he's trying to like solve a problem for everybody by building these tunnels. So I hate that, there's all these people that knock Elon Musk for this, knock him for that. And now he's being like deemed this right-wing guy, which
he's not.
Yeah, no. And like Joe Rogan, that guy is about as right-wing as the people that voted for Biden in the last election. Because Joe Rogan, I disagree with him on most of the crap that he talks about. There's actually like well, I don't want to say most. I'd say he's probably a pretty good half and half. I would say he's probably a center left, but the fact that he hunts and he eats food that's meat and all these things, it's like the left has gotten so far left now that if you eat meat, you're right wing.
Yeah.
It's just it's
if you
wild.
own a gun, you're right wing.
Yeah, it's wild. But I have met people from the left that are like they preach all this stuff. Like they'll preach anti-gun and anti-this and anti-that, and they've got a gun safe at home with guns in it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like people get caught in this political nonsense of kind of being a bobblehead for your side, and I don't know. I like to think like to me, the politics and all the stuff, like, I wouldn't consider myself any of the stuff. Like, to me, I don't really like the whole two-party thing. I'm kind of more of like, this is how everybody should live. If you want to live your way, you live your way. And I hate the fact that it's like Democrat versus Republican, because then if you're voting Republican, but the guy that's a Republican that's won the the rights to run against the other side, what do they call it? Nomination. They nominate that guy, and you don't like anything about him. Then what do you do? So to me, it's like the whole system is just kind of funky. But I mean, typically we kind of go with the right, just because it's like there's so much bad idiocy from the other side that I just couldn't reasonably vote for that.
Well, and I don't know, it's kind of discouraging too. I honestly thought that, I remember Austin coming up to me election day and he's like, what are we going to do if Biden gets in? I'm like, no way. Nobody's voting for that goon. Like, are you kidding me? I was like, Trump's got this in the bag. And I went to bed that night and I was like, oh, we got Ohio. We got this. And I'm like, what? And then you find out about all this fraud, which of course the media is like, oh, that didn't happen. But it's clear there was so much voter fraud that happened. And now it's like, what's the point of me even voting? Like, they're going to do what they want to do, and they're going to put in office who they want to put in office.
It's such a scary thought, too, because me being who I am, like, the first thing I did when all that happened, I actually started talking about it and trying to figure it out. And so I started kind of investigating things when the election was done, but before Joe Biden was nominated, or what do they call that when they bring him in and make him the president?
Oh, inaugurated.
Inaugurated, that's it. Before he was inaugurated, I started doing all this research, and sure enough, you can pull up like obituaries and stuff like that, and then you can also pull up mail-in ballots, with their names and stuff on them. And I was pulling all this stuff up in Detroit, and I actually made a video about it. And I found a handful of people in just the hour that I was searching, of people that were already deceased but had voted in the election. One of them was 132 years old if you go by her date of birth.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I was finding these things, just me by myself, just kind of, scouring the internet. Watch the full episode Wednesday at 7 a.m. or listen along on your favorite podcast at 6 a.m. Tuesday.